Everyone, the Anthony S. You are alone. Today we're going to talk about an interesting topic because of where I live. It's more prevalent of an example. We're going to talk about discipline when it comes to employees today. There needs to be a process in place in your organization for people to be accountable for the mistakes they make. I'm not saying simple mistakes, honest mistakes. I'm saying deliberate and almost negligent mistakes. These can be in the form of not doing something that's in operations that has been told a couple times already. That could be not following a set of standards that are put into place by new rules, by new managers. That could be anything that goes past making the mistake the first time, I'd say. Maybe even the second time. There needs to be a set policy in place, whether it's one verbal and a couple writtens, a couple verbals and a written, a strategy planner that they see day in, day out that you put notes on. Something has to be there so when one or two things happens, one, you see growth and you can show them the map of that growth, or two, you have to fire them. Both sides are important to this. We don't give it enough credit. When we want to try to give someone a raise, we don't look at anything in particular. We want to try to fire someone, we don't look at anything in particular. At least in my state of Arizona, we're a right-to-work state. Unions don't have much power here. Depending on the industry, they can kind of have some power, but it's really not much. You can be fired without cause, but I still think the importance of having some system in place is needed. If you don't, people don't know where they sit. They don't know how well they're doing, and they tend to get lazy on that subject. When you have people that are not held accountable for their production, for their efficiency, they tend to lack. And it's not necessarily their fault. It's a mix of both. As a leader, you're more of the lion chasing them as the gazelle. These are employees. Now, unfortunately, most employees, they're not business owners. They're not leadership. They're technicians, and that's what they do. Technicians want to be led. They want to be told what to do, and that's why they have a job. They don't want to have to think too extraneously outside the box. They want to be given a set of tasks to complete, and they want to get it done and go home and watch their show. That's what they want. That's their happy place. If you have someone that wants to be a little more invigorative and get out there a little more and have a little more ideas, then yes, those persons can be utilized. Otherwise, focus on keeping people accountable for getting at least those tasks done. Anything from being targeted to work more than 2 days in a row, not getting enough done per day, maybe taking too many breaks, overextending their lunch. So many little things that if you don't track, you can't bring back to the table when they want to raise or when you have to want to let them go. It's not about necessarily making sure people that we remember that they're doing wrong things. It's more about opening communications in a certain way. Most leadership is opening communication, even when it's the tough things. Even now, as we speak, I'm learning more and more how to properly navigate a situation where it's a tough subject. It's an awkward one, but it has to be talked about. You can't just flip to the next channel like on TV if you know the awkward part of the movie's coming on. That's not how it works. In life, you have to answer these situations, good and bad. I've been on the side of not being productive enough. I understand for those managers because I've been on the other side of having to tell someone they didn't get enough done. And I made the mistake before of not having it logged, so when it came to the point I had to let them go, they like, what proof do you have? And I really didn't. I just had my memories from a few times, and they essentially said, well, prove it to anyone else in the organization. Thankfully, the upper management believed me more than them, but had they not, I might have been stuck with a subpar employee. And it might not be that they're a subpar person. They might just be in the wrong role or the wrong organization. So it's better to open the conversation, have that communication line, even on the negativity. Because the cool part is when someone notices, oh, I didn't notice I was doing these things wrong. They fix it and then become even a better employee and grow as an individual within the organization. That is also just as enjoyable as getting someone out the door that didn't belong. If not more enjoyable, to be honest, because I love when people grow. I love when people take initiative and do better than they did yesterday. This is the Anthony S. You Are Not Alone. If you want to talk about this more, happy to have a conversation. Please reach out. If you haven't subscribed or liked on Podbean, I'd really appreciate that as well. And I hope you're all having a great day. Talk to you soon.